Welcome back to Backcountry Amateur Radio. Today I'm going to be talking about the Backcountry Access Link 2.0 FRS radio designed for backcountry skiing.
Hey Tom, that line's good to go. Good to go. Hey Tom, that line's good to go. Summit party, what's your condition? How are people doing?
All right, so the Backcountry Access Link 2.0 comes as two pieces, but they do not function independently and they do need to be assembled. Now, once you get this assembled, then you've got a functioning radio. But if something happens to the mic or the base unit, you do not have a communication device unless you have a way to jury rig the fit. That connection needs to be maintained in order to operate. But being that it comes apart makes it easy to install into a backpack, which is why we like it so much. These next two diagrams actually come from the product manual, but just a little bit of an overview on some of the buttons and screen features on the radio. That's why I decided to include this from page 2. This one talks a little bit about range and battery life, dimensions, operating temperatures, and things like that. The radio itself is actually pretty water resistant, but most of it comes down to the mic itself, which is exposed to the environment. I do want to make a note that this is available in the European Union or the EU version, which has 8 PMR channels. For those of us here in the US, this operates on the 22 FRS channels, which can also be heard by GMRS radios.
Good, come down.
Now this radio has a really unique design. You'll notice that there's a lot going on this mic. The mic is actually what makes this radio so special. It's designed specifically to be in a cold, probably wet environment on a shoulder strap of a backpack. So it is designed essentially by a backcountry skiing company for backcountry skiing. Now on that mic, there is a volume on-off knob, and then there's the channel preset knob. Then there's also the big yellow grippy PTT. The base unit has the antenna, battery, and programming keypad, and that is found inside your backpack. That portion is really easy to use. It's been a simplified design with simplified firmware. There's basically 4 things you can change once you enter the settings mode. That comes down to the channel, the tone or code in the case where you're entering the DCS codes, and then you can change the Roger beep and the button beep, and that's it. So next, it's IP56 waterproof. And what I found, which was surprising in the field, was a high quality squelch logic and audio filters. It came through really nice and clear. So it also has better sensitivity in the antenna than I expected. That made it really nice to listen to and really, really nice to operate.
Yes, it's so great.
Yeah, this snow is excellent, man. Now, there's a few things that stop people from really wanting to buy this or even investigate buying this radio. In my operating, I've found that this radio works really well, and the simplified design is really nice. But that price tag at $189 does make people look the other way and search for a pair of radios for $50, which I totally understand that. But some of the other drawbacks is the radio does not function without the mic. It has to be assembled. It has a non-removable USB charging battery, which does have its upsides, but also can be frustrating if you're in the field and want to operate immediately and you can't replace a battery. So next, what other operators have found is the mic can ice over, which obviously causes problems with sending your voice through the air and also listening. That is a huge, huge issue. The other thing is the mic connection, the cable connection to the radio base. There's a little hook on the connecting interface that has broken for people. In that case, this thermoplastic design may not be the best, but if you're gentle with the radio, as far as assembly, and put it in a place in the backpack where the strain relief does its job, you likely won't have an issue with that. Now, programming other radios to operate on the same tones or subchannels as this radio can be a pain in the butt. So look up. I am putting a link to my video I made for that. And lastly, you can't change the transmit power on the 2-watt channels. Now, it's not necessary, but it would have been nice to have that option. in the event that you're in an area with a lot of other users. Having a lower power output ensures that you're not going to interfere with others. Now, being that this is micro USB chargeable, it does offer you flexibility as far as charging. One of the things I found was that it doesn't really have much of an indicator except for the flashing bar on the battery indicator. Other than that, there's no blinking anywhere. On the mic, there's no blinking. So the other thing about it is you do need to remove the base from the backpack if you want to recharge it and you don't have a long cable. So kind of a thing to think about. The other part of it is I can carry a battery bank and charge this, and I can also carry a small solar panel and charge this, or I can charge the solar panel or charge the battery bank with the solar panel. Now, in order to check the actual voltage in percentage, you can just press the up and down key at the same time, and it shows you the indication of how much battery life you have. So in that case, it was 100%. So that was actually kind of nice to be able to check that.
Sounds good. Hold on 1 second.
Roger, roger. Okay, let's get into the very simple process of programming a preset, which is super easy. Basically, you want to turn the radio on with the volume knob on the mic, and then on the preset knob, select whichever preset you want to change. In this case, we're going to use F, and then unlock the keypad. So you need to hold down on OK and menu at the same time, and it will begin a countdown, and we'll see that lock disappear after the countdown, that little padlock icon. So press menu, and you can see that 16 starts flashing, and you can change that from anywhere from 1 to 22, which are the designated channels on FRS. Now, if you press it again, you can go through and you can change the tone, which is, or some people call that the sub channel. It's the tone, so in this case, it's 4. And if you continue to press the menu, you can go through the Roger beep and the button beep. I like to turn those both off because they're kind of annoying. Press OK, and that will take you out of the programming. And then I like to relock the keys. So hold down on OK and menu for 3 seconds, and you'll see a countdown again. And then the lock icon will appear again. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me again and watching this Backcountry Amateur Radio YouTube channel. I'll catch you down the trail.